The drama stars Robert Pattinson and Zendaya in a movie about a newlywed couple trying to organize their wedding. And it comes in at a 77% on the tomato meter, 80 by the audience. So a lot of people like this. If you see it, it's kind of flying under the radar right now. And it's one of those movies that sticks with you. It's stuck with me. I watched this a week ago and I've still had it in the back of my mind because I wasn't sure exactly how to feel about it afterwards. Let's go over and take a look at what the IMDb is saying for its synopsis. A happily engaged couple is put to the test when an unexpected turn sends their wedding week off the rails. And the trailers would have you believe that this is a comedy, that this is a black comedy, that oh yeah, they're just having some drama while they're trying to develop their relationship here. And it's really not a comedy. It's dealing with some very intense subject matter, and the subject matter is going to be very offensive to some people because it's very topical for a lot of events going on in the United States. Uh, and I wasn't expecting that when I was watching this movie. I watched the trailers like everybody else, and I thought, oh, the secret that gets revealed in this that drives the narrative of this movie was going to be like infidelity or something, because that's sort of what they were pitching. But there's Robert Pattinson, Zendaya, Mamadou Dachi, and this girl here. Um, they play a game of what's the worst thing that you've done, and it comes out that Zendaya did some, well, not bad things. She was talking about doing some very bad things that is offensive to a lot of people down south. That has to do with guns. Oops. Hopefully the their YouTube algorithm doesn't flag me, but it's of that subject matter, and that's why it's a very testy subject. Now, is the movie trying to make a statement about that? I don't think so. I think the movie's trying to make a statement about how you react about just that concept in general. And I gotta say that the premise plays out in such a way that it does frustrate you, uh, because there's a lot of hypocrisy, especially from one character here, that was like goading you on to say something terrible because she's done so. Actually, she's probably done the worst thing out of the entire group because she actually did something to somebody that really did harm somebody. And then, of course, once that gets all blown up, it's like, well, I don't want to be part of your wedding anymore. And that's the drama that goes on. And Robert Pattinson here puts on a performance that's just vulnerable, delicate. Uh, you're kind of like seeing it through his eyes, where it's like, you don't know exactly how to deal with this. She didn't really do anything, right? But what she said was terrible. And it makes you feel that oh, this icky kind of, what do I do in this situation? That's the question that it poses, and it's played perfectly by Zendaya here, and Robert Pattinson. They bounce off each other in this movie, where it's just a pleasure to watch them act, because there's a couple of scenes that echo and mirror each other, but it's like once they were happy, now we're echoing it while they're sad, kind of thing, right? Um, that's the that's kind of what's going on here, and it deals with some very adult subject matter towards the end, where people try to cope with certain things. I'm talking about this scene here. If you've seen it, um, it deals with very mature things, and it goes off the rails. Their lives fall apart, and it's difficult to watch. And Robert Pattinson takes it, I'd say, on the chin, but you can tell from the poster here, he takes it a couple black eyes for his problems. So, for his troubles. My overall reaction to it is I'm probably going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 77, 80%, maybe even a little bit higher, because it's just, if you can get past the fact that they're dealing with sensitive subject matter here, look at the performances, look at what some of the statements it's making towards how people react to this kind of a news. I think this is a very positive thing to happen for us in society because somehow, on a macro level, we're going to have to start to address this. How do we want our society to start to address this? And on a very surface level kind of way of starting to open up the conversation to it, this movie's doing that. And I don't think it's doing it in such a way that it's making fun of it. It's not taking it for granted, and it's just it's it's done in such a way where you think, yeah, what would I do in that situation? How would I handle it? How would you want me to handle it? The love of my life, uh, and there's something about forgiveness in this that is portrayed in such an honest and heartbreaking way that the last scene in this is just wow, wow. And I'm happy. I actually, I think the more I'm talking about it, it's just like this is probably one of my favorite films of the year so far. It's going to be right up there. So, with that being said, let me bring out the score sheet. Acting is a full 2 points, directing's 1.5, and stories 2, because it does deal with that subject matter, and it does it in such a way that it is sensitive. Cinematography, it's well shot. Uh, a lot of static shots and good use of shadows. I really enjoyed that. Uh, the score is serviceable. Watchability factor. Uh, you definitely want to check it out if you're a Zendaya fan, Robert Pattinson fan. If you want to see where the big secret is revealed and how it goes down, you'll want to check this out in theater. I would check this out in theater if you can, uh, because that color palette that they use, it's worth seeing. It's colorful, and I think seeing it in a full theater too, you might hear some gasps. I know for sure I gasped. 8.5 out of 10 for the drama. Let's go back to the tomato meter and see what some of the critics and audiences are saying about this. I'm obviously coming in higher than them, but The Atlantic says in the drama, Pattinson embodies Charlie as the model of tame, harmless Brit charm. And the minute the actor has built his character up, he clearly takes perverse delight in unraveling him. Now, I wouldn't say that it's delight, but you do get to see Pattinson unravel here, and it's a testament to his acting abilities. That's why I'm saying it's probably one of his best performances. It's got to be in conversation. To see how they play with the comedy and the dark element of the comedy, I really liked it. It kept me interested in what was coming next. Yeah, and that's one of the things too. Because when you think it hits rock bottom, nope, there's another rock bottom that they can hit. Audience says train wreck that I couldn't turn my eyes from. Great movie. Yeah, and it is a train wreck. It earns the title of the drama for sure. Cassandra, I really like the acting in this movie. Zendaya and Robert are amazing actors, very versatile and believable. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Let's go to some of the other critics here. The New Yorker didn't like it. The drama has a juicy, combustible premise that it struggles to justify, not because there's anything inherently distasteful. And as I said, yeah, they do handle the subject matter tastefully, but rather because Emma's deep, dark secret simply doesn't ring true. They're talking about Zendaya's character, I think, there. Um, no, I think it does ring true. I think it does. It's just it's just so volatile if you live in the states. I think it's subject matter that, yeah, I could see people having that abrupt negative reaction to it. Um, and it's going to be difficult for some people to shake. No less than marriage, dark comedy requires commitment, but Borgley traffics in opportunism. I don't know about that. Um, Expertly shot and edited to pull the audience into a moral dilemma that turns increasingly messy This pitch black romantic comedy offers meaty roles to Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, and they seriously rise to the occasion. Yes, they most definitely do. They most definitely do. And there's scenes in here where you're going to be like, I don't know if I like this. Like, I don't mean like you don't like the movie, but you don't like the decisions the characters are making. And you're like, why? And it's because they're so expertly portraying frustration and doubt and knee-jerk reactions sometimes. Yeah, this is the more I'm thinking about it, I really appreciate this movie, and I'm happy that these two get to showcase their talents with such difficult subject matter. Yeah. So my score stands. I think 8.5 for the drama, and it's going to be in contention for probably one of my favorite movies of the year by the year's end. But we still got a lot of year to go. So with that being said, guys, tell me what you thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Hey, if you like this kind of thing, we just reviewed Faces of Death, and oh, what a stinker. Let's talk about it right here on Mirror Domains.